Hey, welcome to day 33 of the Volunteer Recruiting Challenge, where I'm attempting to recruit 50 volunteers over the course of the next 90 days. And today we're taking a deeper dive into the area of reference checks. Now, to reiterate from what we talked about yesterday, I believe in reference checks. I know a lot of places have stopped doing reference checks. Now, I believe that there's maybe two reasons why people don't do reference checks very much anymore. One of them is the process can be cumbersome, and I think I'm going to talk to you today. I think it doesn't have to be. The other reason I think people might not do reference checks is because they typically don't amount to anything. Over the years, I've done probably thousands of reference checks, and I can only think of two occasions where I had somebody respond with a negative statement about the volunteer. But even recently this year, I remember having one reference come back, not as a not recommended, but just, hey, here's some information you might want to know. And it was very helpful. So the nature of a reference checks, reveals that more than likely, if I was giving my name to somebody and I was picking a reference, I'm going to pick somebody that's going to say something good about me, but sometimes it works out that way. So I just believe it's important to do. I think when it comes to the safety of our kids, the safety of our team, the safety of the culture we're trying to create, it's important to check. It's important to verify. So we do it. But let's talk about my process and specifically and what makes it easier to do. Now, as I've shown you, I have my pipeline, and in the pipeline I have an opportunity where once somebody has submitted the references and we've reached out to them and they gave a favorable response, then we mark them as checked and we move on. It usually doesn't take long. And like I said yesterday, we ask for 3 references, and most people give us all 3 references, and we're going to reach out to all 3. But all I need is to hear back from 2. As soon as I hear back from 2 and they're favorable, then they're done and they move on to the next process. Even if somebody else responds later, it doesn't matter. All we need are the 2 references. We're going to automate this as much as possible. I have a note in my notes that's always ready. It's flagged, it's pinned at the top, so it's always quick and easily accessible. And I have a scripted text, and I have a template email saved in my Gmail that whenever I'm ready to send out references, it's just a little bit of copying and pasting and sending them out. It takes me literally 20 seconds to send out the information that I need. The reference text is really simple. Something like this. It says, hello there, my name is Kenny Conley. I oversee the Children's Ministry Department at such and such church. Recently, blank, I leave that blank, applied to volunteer with kids, and they listed you as a personal references. Would you mind clicking on the following form and let us know, blah, 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 whatever. You can, in the hub, you can download a copy of my script, and then there it has a link to the form. Okay, super simple. The email is very similar, and it says, I think it says, hello, blank, so-and-so has applied to volunteer with children as part of the Rich Kids team. So blah, 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 all those things. Please fill out our volunteer reference form. Answer the questions, offer any information that would be helpful. And it's a link there. You can access the form here. Click. That's saved as a template. So in a lot of email systems, including Google, you can create templates. So I have a volunteer reference template. So when a volunteer fills out the intake form, they list their references, they share an email address and a phone number, and then I sit down and I'll batch this. I'll do it like 1 day a week, and any new intake forms, I just open up my messenger and I just boom, boom, boom. I send out 3 texts to the 3 references for each person who filled out an intake form. And usually I don't have more than 2 or 3, so this probably takes 5, maybe 10 minutes. With the emails, same thing. I just pull up the template, and you could, if you didn't make it personalized, you could probably blind carbon copy everybody, but I like to personalize. I like to say, hey, so-and-so listed you as a reference. I think that's helpful instead of blind carbon copying. So that would make sense. You'd have to do that. So, but again, that's super simple. And I send that out to all 3 references listed by each applicant. And send it out. Now the form, I love my form, and I'm going to leave a copy of it for you in the hub so you can see it, you can copy it. I'm sure I copied it or various versions of it from someone else, but it is a Google form. I do a Google form because I don't want people who don't attend our church filling out a form within our church database with them creating a profile and clogging up the system and such. So a Google form is great. You just have to mark it that somebody can access the form from outside your organization. And I love it. It's a quick form. It doesn't take long, but it asks all the important questions. Like ask how you know them and how long you've known that person. But then I like to ask questions. Rate from 1 to 5, from 1 being poor, 5 being excellent. Rate them in leadership qualities, character, promptness and attendance, cooperation with others, emotional stability, patience. What qualities do you most admire about this person? Have you ever observed this person with children? This is a really important one. Would you leave your own children in his or her care? Do you know of any reason why this person should not work with children? Additional comments. And then how would you rank this person overall? See, it would only take somebody maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes max to fill out this reference, but you actually get really helpful information. So all these scripts, copy this form, will all be in the hub, but I'm going to encourage you. It's one more step. It maybe adds an extra 5 to 10 minutes per volunteer, but it's worth it. You can delegate this to a volunteer. You can delegate this to another staff person, or like me right now, you can do it yourself. It doesn't take much time, and it's an important step along the process. And I just think it values, it communicates that you care.